Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
Oh, are these words to live by? The closest distance between a problem and its solution is the distance between your knees and the floor. Good morning, everybody. Here comes Kate Smith, and God bless America, followed by a patriot with our Pledge of Allegiance. Call in. It's a Thursday. Good morning. And a good morning to you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Zeb at the Ranch, I'm Zeb Bell with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations. Big fall tire sale going on right now. And, of course, some of our great advertisers like Western Waste Services, always at your disposal. Call them at 734-6969. About choked to death. Anyway, good morning, and let's say good morning to our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, my friend, how are you?
I'm great. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Doug, thank you much. I'll talk to you, I'm sure, a little bit later. Appreciate it, buddy. Have a great day. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Hey, it's time for the weather, brought to you by K&R Rental at 256 South, 600 west of Hayburn. Roger, good morning. And all the crew over there, they started at 7 o'clock in the morning. They get up early. The old alarm goes ring, and they're there at 7 o'clock to 5:30 Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays. All your tools and equipment right there at K&R Rental. You call them. Tell them what you're doing. Tell them what you need. They've got it. They can help. K&R Rental in Hayburn, 678-3122. Here is the weather.
Well, it looks like we are still going to be blessed with some nice weather. Good morning with your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron, sitting in for Gina Jameson. Today, looking for some sunshine. Yeah, highs are going to be around 60. The wind is going to be blowing. Could see gusts around 25. Then for tonight, mostly clear, expecting a low around 31. East wind's going to be settling down just a little bit. Then for tomorrow, sunshine, high near 61. And winds are going to slow down to about 5 to 7 miles an hour. Then for Friday night, mostly clear, a low of 34, sunshine, and 65 on Saturday night, a low around 35. And then for Sunday, sunny and 67. Gotta love this beautiful October weather so far. That's your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron.
Hey, man, Scotty, I didn't know you were doing the weather this morning, but great job. Oh, my goodness, Scotty and Gina, they do a wonderful job. K&R Rental, 256 South, 300 west of Hayburn. Number to call, 678-3122. They've got all the tools, all the equipment, and I'll tell you what, by the top name brands, too. They can help you. All you got to do is stop in or give them a call at 678-3122, K&R Rental. Merv May, come on in. Let's sell some cattle, shall we?
All right. Hey, good set of steer calves. They're here to get all 31, 31, 30.
That's the chant of, I think, one of the best doggone auctioneers anywhere in the country, Merv May, over at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. And sale time this morning, 10 a.m. The sale that works for you, Merv May, Cade, Rogge, and Lance Udy. Hold Holy moly, this is going to be a ripping good sale today. Listen to this. We got a lineup for you. Miller Brothers up at Rockland bringing in 120 calves. How you doing up there? Galen Jabauer, good old friend of ours over in Rupert. I said old, yeah, he's getting antique like I am. 37 head of calves coming into the ring today. Joe Tate out of the Sequa. Hello, Joe. 40 head of 800-pounders. Chet Brackett and Kim Brackett. Chet and Kim bringing in 30 head of yearling heifers out of Three Creek. The Moo View Dairy over at Burley, 45 head of 750-pound Holstein steers. Dan Bywater over at Rupert. Hello, Dan. Trailer load of Holstein steers weighing probably right around 10.5. Rod Kendall. Rod, you old son of a gun, haven't seen you for a long time. Over to Rupert, 28 head of 600-pound steer calves. Betsy Whitworth from Bliss coming to the sale today with 85 head of mixed calves. Dick Simpson up at Cary. Yep, Roping Dick up there, I'll tell you. 40 head of steer calves. And Daddy Bud Bedke, Oakley, bringing in 40 head of mixed calves. 10 a.m. starting time. Whoo! What a sale it's going to be today. The sale that works for you. Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley, 678-9411. Merv, sell those steers.
All right, a good set of steer calves there. Here to get $31, 1.5, 31, 1.5, 32, 2.5, 3.5, 134, 4.5, 5.5, 5.5, 130, 550, 135, 1.5, $7.35. Zeb Bell gets bottom again.
Oh my, what a day we've got today. Busy day. A lot of people coming on the program this morning. It's Thursday, and I really would appreciate your calls. So give us a jingle. We're going into the end of the month, and of course Halloween next week, and I just want to give you a preparatory remark about watch out for the kids next trick-or-treat week next week on Halloween. They're going to be all over, and you know, kids are kids. They're not going to be watching out for you. You're going to have to watch out for them. So please, let's have a safe, sane Halloween. Want to also take some time right now to tell you about Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley, and also the other location at 291 Pole Line Road in Twin Falls. Breakfast, anytime, lunch and dinner, oh my goodness, all the time delicious food. I mean, all the time delicious food. You and your family stop in, great people to serve you, menu that's going to knock your socks off delicious. Stop in at Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley, and don't forget, they are America's Diner. Oh, my goodness. We're going to be talking about quite a few different subjects here this morning, but first and foremost, Wheels, get on your microphone real quick. Are you there?
Yes, and I think I already know what you're going to talk to me about.
Why, how could you ever guess that I was going to try to rub salt in the wound when you thought that your Dodgers were going to beat the Astros last night, and the Astros ended up winning 7-6? But now let me tell you something, young man. I missed the last part of the game because I fell asleep.
You know what? I had that night too. You know, last night it was one of those nights where I could not stay awake.
I did not see all the home runs. I did not see the tied game. I did not see the Astros win it. But now the games are tied 1-1, and you'd better be sweating a little bit over there, Mr. Wheels, because they're going back to Houston, and I might start kicking your you-know-what.
Well, we'll definitely see what happens. I mean, they play again tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
So, you know, we'll see what happens. It was a close game. I mean, 7-6.
Yep.
It seems like.
But you know what? Close doesn't matter when the people file out of the stadium. Thank you. Have a good day.
You're welcome, sir.
All right. Ramsey Heating and Electric, 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. Number to call, 678-0459. They're open at 7:30 in the morning. Come on in for all your electrical and heating needs. And they've got your heating air filters for your furnace. Mm-hmm. You know, we're loving this kind of weather. Yesterday, my son-in-law Nick and his brother Logan came over. We had a chance to rope a little bit in the afternoon, and I'm going to tell you something that we just sat there after we were done. It's beautiful out there, but you know as well as I do, it's going to end. And all of a sudden, the curtain's going to come down, and it's going to go chilly, cold. Be ready. Keep yourself warm with new air filters for your furnace from Ramsey Heating and Electric, 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley, where they provide warm winters and cool summers. All right, we might as well get started with some of this right now. Tomorrow. I'm always thinking today's Friday for some reason. Tomorrow, some of the John F. Kennedy files are going to be released for public scrutiny. Now, there's one word in that sentence that really, it bothers me. Some of the JFK files are going to be released to the public tomorrow. Why some? And a lot of people are questioning the same thing as to why some. So I did some research, and I called some people back in Washington, D.C., and I called some people in New York that I really trust, that gather news for a living every day and make sure that it is A1 up to perfect as far as being reliable. Some of the people I've talked to said that there are certain names and there are certain countries and there are people in those countries like Mexico, that name came to the forefront, that do not want a release of certain information with the John F. Kennedy files. Why? Why? You know, it's going to be interesting to follow this story as there are so many other stories to follow. But I can remember vividly where I was, what I was doing when that tragedy occurred with the shooting of John F. Kennedy. And all of the questions regarding Lee Harvey Oswald, all of the questions regarding Jack Ruby, all of the questions regarding the different scenarios that played a part in the shooting, supposedly from high atop the Texas Depository Bookstore. All of these questions, we should have the answer to some things, hopefully tomorrow, but there still is the hiding and the confidence of some others to protect people and countries. Why? Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. You know what? When you get older, you got your aches and pains, and then when you get a little accident or you have surgery or something, it takes a little while to get back to being you. Or if you're a youngster and you're running along and all of a sudden you get some bruises or broken bones or whatever, there again, you got to heal up and get back to being you. Well, I know a place to go. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. You call the staff. They can help you. The best doggone physical therapists around, headed up by Nick Greenwell. And the number 678-1191. They will help you get back to being you. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. Please get a hold of them today. Really nice people. Oh, and one other quick note here. Caller, I'll be right there. Don't you dare go away, or you'll have to pay a $200 fine. Do not pass go. Do not get the get-out-of-jail-free card. I want to remind you, too, that today being the 26th of October, that the... oh, my goodness, I got to get everything. Pomerelle Place, a place for senior living at 1301 Bennett Street in Burley, is going to host at 5:30 p.m. tonight Georgia Greenwell, the local Mini-Cassia veteran service rep, and speaking on how to apply for VA benefits. This is very important. 5:30 tonight at the Pomerelle Place. Pomerelle Place, of course, the place for senior living. And if you're not wanting to live alone and you just really want to find a great place to take up residence, this is it. Pomerelle Place, Senior Living, 1301 Bennett Street in Burley, 677-8212. Excuse me. All right, caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb.
Yes, sir.
Would you settle for 100?
What?
You said do not pass go and do not collect 200. I just wondered if we could meet in the middle.
Nah, it's only Monopoly. You know what? When I say it's Monopoly money, I sometimes wonder to think if the game money in Monopoly is not worth more than what we've got in our billfold sometimes.
Well, that's true.
What do you need, buddy?
Back to this. Excuse me?
I said, what do you need this morning?
Well, I really don't need anything.
Oh, okay.
I would like to make a comment.
You just feel free to do so.
Okay. The Kennedy files.
Yeah.
You know, I remember that day so vividly in my life that he was shot. And they played it over and over and over and over again on TV, the whole darn thing, but they left out a lot of things that I think were important. Like, for instance, I believe, now this is what I believe that Lee Harvey Oswald would have had a lot of information that they could have sure used there if it were not for Jack Ruby, I think was his name.
Yeah, it was.
Who shot
Yeah.
Lee Harvey Oswald. And that left a cloud like you cannot believe.
Well,
I've heard several theories.
There are a lot of theories about what happened to JFK, but you know, one thing, I remember where I was, I remember the classes I was in when we heard that the president got shot. I remember everything, and I remember the teacher, Mr. Robb. And I remember he stood up there, and when the facts started coming out, we had class discussions on this. Everything else was put on the back burner. And a couple of things that were brought up. Back in my day in high school, I don't know how it was in your day in high school. I even remember guys that lived in the country, like myself. We had guns, shotguns in the pickup. We'd go to school and that type of thing. We started talking about the gun that was used, a bolt-action rifle by Lee Harvey Oswald. And yeah, they claim he was an excellent marksman, but to bolt the action and fire as many times as he did with the rapidity of the fire out of that bookstore depository, I still have a lot of questions that I'm not sure I believe in.
Well, it is hard to believe, and I've been in that repository in Dallas, and it's quite intriguing, but boy, I think there was someone else involved in the shooting myself.
There's a lot of people that feel your way, Keith, and I would never denigrate your thoughts about maybe a combination of assassins on that particular day, because I think sometimes the information that we're given as public is nothing more than an ease of information for the government to try to salve the wound. I honestly believe, like you do, that there were more parties involved, and I think there was more intricacy involved. Why won't they release everything? Why are they afraid of certain names? Why are they afraid of certain countries being offended, even here in 2017?
I think the Warren Commission, I think that's one of the worst things that has happened to America.
Well, we'll have to see, but I'm not going to pass judgment on anything until all the information is released. Keith, you and Nancy have a great day. Thank you so much.
Just one other thing.
Yes.
Back when that happened, it was nothing to see a pickup with 3 guns.
That's right.
In the back window on a rack, and you didn't even lock up your car.
Yeah, America changed that day. Thank you, Keith. I got to run and do a commercial. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hey, don't forget Lennox Home Comfort Systems along with Ramsey Heating and Electric, and you possibly could get up to a $1,600 rebate on a new Lennox Home Comfort System. Call Ramsey Heating and Electric today at 678-0459. That's right, Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox, saving you money. Absolutely. Hey, there's a big doings going on tonight. You want to know what's going on? There's a meet and greet, and it's going to be really interesting. It's going to take place at Morey's Steakhouse at 219 East 3rd in Burley. It's Steve Yates for Lieutenant Governor. Meet Steve tonight in a meet and greet starting at 6 o'clock going till 8 at, of course, Maury's Steakhouse. And, of course, dear friends, former Representative Bert Stevenson, Doug Pickett, and Mark Peterson inviting you to go along. They're the hosts, and they'd love to see you there as Steve Yates running for Lieutenant Governor. And he absolutely defends the Second Amendment and wants to protect Idaho values. And this is paid for by Bert Stevenson for Steve Yates for Lieutenant Governor. Calls are welcome and appreciated. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Can you honestly tell me of another time in our history when we've had so many cesspool stories come out and confront us day by day, changing hour by hour, and it just seems to be enveloping everything going on in our country right now. And the news media, in general, seems to be totally removed from reality and not covering a lot of the stories and a lot of the facts and a lot of the people. The mess in Las Vegas, and I'm going to call it a mess, it's getting actually worse with a lack of information and so many questions, and nobody is really stepping forward and giving the answers. It's turned into a deep mystery. Now, I have talked to people in law enforcement. I have talked to people that are somewhat involved in that area of law enforcement, and they're very closed-mouthed about really what's going on down there. And mystery is a good word. Now, the security guard, Jesus Campos, okay, they called him the hero. They said that possibly his going to the 32nd floor actually diverted the attention of the shooter and might have stopped or slowed down the onslaught. Now, Campos was shot in the leg. And he was supposedly shot with one of the highest caliber rifles made today. Then a couple of days after he is shot, he gets in a rented car, not his own personal vehicle. He gets in a rental car that was rented in California, and he drives to Mexico. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if you get shot with one of these high-powered rifles, that is going to cause a lot of pain. It's going to cause a lot of stress, and it's going to cause a lot of damage to the tissue, the muscles, etc. We do not know how bad he was injured. But we saw clips of him walking on to the Ellen DeGeneres show using a cane and very gingerly walking on that leg. Now, I find it hard to believe that a couple of days after the shooting, the security guard would jump in a car and drive clear to Mexico, injured like he was, and then drive back. And then hush-hush, because of his employer, MGM. Now, there still hasn't been a motive that has been found out. And then, interestingly enough, we find out yesterday that the hard drive from the shooter's computer is gone. Oops. And the shooter's brother, Paddock's brother, was arrested in a child pornography ring. And MGM's not answering any questions. Wouldn't you say that maybe we, the public, should be demanding more and better coverage of answers of the most horrendous shooting that's ever took place in the United States? Give me a call. Let me know what your thoughts are. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Sure like to hear from you. And right now I'm going to do a little commercial break, and I want to talk about our dear friends over at Dino's Septic Service. You know, they absolutely are doing a job, and I've said this almost every time I do their commercial. They're doing a job that you and I don't want to do. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it. And God bless them, fast, fair, friendly service, and they pump out your septic tanks, and the sewer and sink drain lines are cleaned, and liquid waste removal. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So you call them. Dino's Septic Service at 436-6526 or in Burley 678-1638. Like I said, really nice people at Dino's Septic Service, and they got a big truck with a sign on the door that said, "Smells Cargo on the way." It's true. Dino's Septic Service. Give them a call today. Let me see what else have I got to tell you real quick. The Bennett boys are having a sale. Hang on, hold the phone. Here, caller, I'll be right with you. If there's a call on the line, there better be. The Bennett boys are going to have an auction this Saturday, and it's going to be over in Jerome on 400 South, the Colin Maxey auction. Starting at 11 o'clock, they'll bring down the gavel, and it's over by the Jerome Golf Course. Don't forget that. And you go to 400 South, look for the signs. You will see it. And they're going to have swathers and tractors and farm equipment, livestock items like horse trailers, and they got snowmobiles, saddles. They've got everything, lawn and garden items. This is going to be a good sale. Colin Maxey auction, 11 a.m. Saturday. Look for the signs. Jerome, Idaho, 400 South. Bennett Boys Auction Service. Joe Bennett, 539-0111. No sale too big, no sale too small. The Bennett Boys. They sell them all. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
I apologize, sir. They ended up hanging up, and so I'm hoping that they call back.
Do you mean to tell me that you gave a little prod to the cow and got her all upset and there was nobody on the line?
I did.
Don't do that again. All right, call back, caller. I want to hear from you. By the way, I will not be on the air tomorrow, naturally, Friday and Saturday and Sunday, days off. Helen Bradley, one of our dear, dear friends. God bless Helen. She's going to have her birthday on Saturday, so Deanna and I want to wish her a very happy birthday, Helen Bradley. I just love that lady. But don't ever give her a squirt gun. She goes wild. Okay, calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. This is absolutely nuts, but another story to worry about, and this falls into the cesspool category, and it's the Uranium One story. That story yesterday had more additions and more corrections than any story I've seen in a long time. And it is starting to involve so many people, big-name people in the Democratic Party, and yes, even former President Barack Obama himself. When you look at the Clintons, Hillary and Bill, the Clinton Foundation, with all the money and a lot of ties to foreign money coming in, and Big Bill giving a speech for $500,000. I have never heard Bill Clinton give a speech that I would pay that any kind of money for. He's got a very poor speaking voice. I've listened to his speaking manner. He's not that good, but to be paid $500,000. And all of this is linked into this uranium sale to Russia. The Podestas, both the brothers involved in this thing, and then, of course, good old Hillary as Secretary of State. There's a lot of evil involved in this story. There's a lot of money involved in this story. And yes, there is a lot of national security, or the lack of, involved in this story. And then the phony dossier on Donald Trump. Some of the most salacious and filthy material was put into that dossier on Donald Trump. And the Democrats called it finding out more news about their opposition during the presidential campaign. Now it was all put together. It was written in a filthy connotation to the point where I'm not even going to repeat on my program some of the facts that were put out by the news media that were in that dossier that was absolutely fake news. And now the tracing of that dossier and who put it together and who paid for it to be put back together leads and points fingers to, Hillary Clinton. Isn't that interesting? Calls are welcome. Come on, it's a Thursday. Give me a jingle. I want to hear from you. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Caller, I'll be right there. Just kind of take a sip of tea or coffee. I'll be right with you. Barry Equipment and Rental, sales, service, and parts. 3 locations, 3 great bunches of people to serve you. South Lincoln and Jerome, Addison Avenue West in Twin, and old Juan, the football coach, at 159 West Highway 30 in Burley. Nice folks. They know equipment. They've got all the equipment to get the job done right. Equipment rentals, retail equipment sales, all the Bobcat excavators in all shapes and sizes. And they're ready to serve you right this very minute. Get a hold of them. Barry Equipment and Rental, Jerome, Twin Falls, and 159 West Highway 30 in Burley. Caller, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Zeb.
Yes, sir.
Hey, on the, this shooter guy, is the motive, maybe it's right in front of us already. What I mean by that is, look how many firearms this guy bought in a short amount of time, and nobody cared. Look at the amount of ammunition the guy bought in a short amount of time. Nobody cared. Bought X amount of bump stops in short amount of time, and nobody cared. Maybe that is his whole motive right there, showing you, hey, this is a problem.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Where do you draw the line in the sand of being able to purchase a gun or guns with our Second Amendment, and what is going to draw the line on scrutiny? What's going to draw the line on one gun too many or too much ammunition? How do you draw the line in a free society?
Well, that's exactly the struggle. You know me, Zeb. I've got plenty of guns. I hunt, I fish. As a matter of fact, I have AR-15s with bump stocks. But I have no practical use for them.
Yeah.
A ban on the bump stock is I have them. Short of blowing a bunch of rounds downrange, they're practically useless. So, and all the guys that I talk to in these realms, they all agree. There's no practical point for anyone to really have them. So I don't think anybody has an issue with a ban on these. But, when you're buying heavy loads of ammunition, you got to sometimes say, geez, what is a normal consumer doing with, thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds?
My biggest fear is, and I'm going to kind of bare my chest on this and open it up for scrutiny as far as the topic is concerned, that if you start, and believe me, I just figured out who this is, and it's about high time you called in one of these days. I missed having you call. Good to hear from you. My biggest fear is this, that when you take a jackknife and a piece of wood and you start whittling on the wood, sooner or later the wood's going to be all chewed up and laying on the floor. Our Second Amendment, when we start letting them chew it up and whittle on it and say, well, this is going to be illegal now, and this is still going to be legal, once you open that Pandora's box of letting things be legal or illegal or stopped or open, how are you ever going to stop it to the point where if we get an administration that says change the Constitution, no more Second Amendment, where's our protection?
Well, and that, again, that is the struggle. That's I love that freedom that we have. I exercise that freedom that we have. I certainly don't want it taken away, but it's who knows? I mean, the type of weaponry that's out there for the general public to put their hands on is, you can go anywhere and get these types of weapons.
Yeah.
But it's at the volume of which he was purchasing, and then, nobody caught that.
Well, here's one question for you, caller, and caller number 2, don't go away. I'll be there in a minute. One quick question for you. He used the service elevator numerous times to haul all this weaponry, ammunition, cameras, everything else up to these rooms. Now, where's the hotel asking about, sir, wait a minute, you're using our service elevators. What have you got in here? Why wasn't somebody asking or questioning?
Well, and that's the as my mom always said, that, you got to live by the golden rule. But he who has all the gold makes all the rules.
There you go. There you go. And so, in other words, I think I'm on the same track you are. Maybe there was a slippage of a couple $100 to keep your mouth shut and that type of thing. I agree with you. Hey, it is always good to hear from you, my dear friend. Take care of yourself.
Have a good day, Zach.
All right, sir. Caller number 2, I'm going to ask you just a minute to stay there. I'm going to just tell everybody that Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox, oh my goodness, with those really comfy indoor comfort systems from Lennox, available at Ramsey Heating and Electric at 678-0459. All you have to do is call, find out more. Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. Ramsey's and Lennox, saving you money. Caller, good morning to you.
Good morning, bud. Hey, I agree with you with your comment your last caller was making. If I get the money set aside and I'm able to, I buy as many rounds as I can for whatever caliber I have, just for the simple fact of when you're going to need it. And if we go ahead and just let them say we can't buy more than 100 rounds a day, that kind of starts to chip a little away at everything. Then pretty soon you can't buy 100 rounds a year. It kind of used to be ridiculous on once you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. That's what I'm getting at.
Well, and I agree with you.
I think it's about high time we quit giving in to our Second Amendment rights and enforce the laws that are on the books. Because that couldn't, as far as I'm concerned, that really couldn't have been avoided other than the hotel saying, hey, wait a second, there's a lot of questions here we need to ask of you that you're doing that isn't normal.
Yeah. I want to find out this first. Here is the number one thing I think needs to be addressed. First of all, they need to find out the motive, the why. Why did this man do this? And then we have to find out and see if there were any other culprits involved in this crime, and was there kind of a network of people helping him? Okay, after we answer the questions as to why the crime took place, why he did it, was there anybody else involved in it, then start addressing possibly the use of the weapons and the ammunition. But boy, that shouldn't be a priority. We need to know the why first.
Well, I agree with you. We ought to know why, and I don't think that there's some people that are filing lawsuits against the people who made the bump stocks and all this and the other. That's not the point of the issue. The point of the issue is why.
There you go.
This person, this individual, to decide that he needed to do what he did.
Absolutely.
And I honestly, I've heard the theories about a second person, him getting help. But it was kind of funny that they found him dead in his hotel room with all these firearms around him and a missing piece out of his computer. That's kind of fishy. I mean, how did he take it out? Where's it at? They couldn't find it.
Well, there's
a lot more to it than they're letting us know.
There you go. And you know something, my dear friend, whether it's this story, excuse me, or whether it is the story of Uranium One, there's so many things that are going on every day. Like I said, it's a cesspool of news right now where we, the American people, really are kept in the dark. And I don't like it, and I'm going to keep asking questions. Thank you very much for your call this morning.
You betcha. You have a good day.
All right, sir. Hey, don't forget John Anderson. Good old boy is running for re-election to the Burley City Council, and he wants your vote. That's right. John's main goal is to keep Burley a great place to live and raise a family. He's an Idaho native and Burley resident for 48 years, and he's been the mayor of Burley 8 years. This man says, I'm very concerned about the city infrastructure and about charging citizens a fair rate to live in the city. You bet. John would appreciate your vote on November 7th for the Burley City Council. John Anderson for Burley City Council, paid for by John Anderson. Time for the weather. Oh, my goodness. Yes, Scotty's filling in today with the weather. Did a good job, too. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, Dr. Christine Pickup. Now, I had somebody call me the other day and say, well, now what about this Mount Harrison Audiology? I said, go. Make an appointment, go. Dr. Christine Pickup really understands hearing. She really understands sound and can help you. All you need to do is just call and make an appointment, 312-0957. They're located right across the street from the Minidoka Hospital Emergency Room, 312-0957. Come on, Scotty, give us the weather.
Well, it looks like we are still going to be blessed with some nice weather. Good morning with your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron sitting in for Gina Jameson. Today looking for some sunshine. Yeah, highs are going to be around 60. The wind is going to be blowing. Could see gusts around 25. Then for tonight, mostly clear. Expecting a low around 31. East wind's going to be settling down just a little bit. Then for tomorrow, sunshine, high near 61. And winds are going to slow down to about 5 to 7 miles an hour. Then for Friday night, mostly clear, a low of 34, sunshine, and 65 on Saturday night, a low around 35. And then for Sunday, sunny and 67. Gotta love this beautiful October weather so far. That's your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron.
Thanks, Scotty, and brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. And they'd like to welcome Katie Bingham to the Mount Harrison Audiology staff. She's the new patient care coordinator. Call for a hearing screening, 312-0957. All right, calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. You know, another frozen brain professor, our schools, our universities and colleges, I'm beginning to think that they have professors that should be absolutely just put in a padded cell and not given any sharp objects. I'm wondering what kind of status and education our college kids are getting because of some of the teachers and leaders. Another professor came out yesterday and said that, now listen carefully to this, white nationalism is a bigger threat to America than Islamic jihadism. Now, I'm white, Caucasian. Most of the people that live here are white, Caucasian. I am a very strong, staunch nationalist. If you'll look up the meaning in the dictionary, I believe in my country. I love my country. I support my country. I put the United States above any other country. I want it to be and stay number one. Oh, wait a minute. I fall into the category of being a white nationalist that these left kook and crackpots are saying I'm more dangerous than Islamic jihadism. I'm very proud of who I am. I'm very proud of my family. I'm very proud of the country I live in, and I'm now to be considered a danger. This is the insanity of the left. The other day, think about this. The other day on the program, I had a story about how back in Pennsylvania, some people that were flying flags on their own lawns, like I do, and many of you do on front of your businesses and your property, etc., they were receiving death threats and hate mail because the left associates anybody that flies a flag right now, accepts the premises of our Constitution and our history and our forefathers, so we got to be racist if we do that. This is the idea that these college professors are throwing and spewing out to our kids, that if you're a patriot and you believe in America and you believe in the values and you believe in the Constitution, you're a racist or a white nationalist that's got to be watched. This is absolutely insane. And I'm telling you on this day, Thursday, October 26th, at 8:50 in the morning, we're going to have a war. A lot of people don't like that. Oh, violence, violence. We're going to have a war in this country. And I can see it. It's around the corner. Kind of peek around the corner and you can see it. We're going to have a civil war. And you know what? Maybe it should happen sooner than later. Because these idiots, these kooks and crackpots, and these absolutely hell-bent people that want to see America fall, and they want to see our values fall, they're the ones that are preaching to our kids all this insanity about, oh, these white nationalists, these are evil people. Caller, good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning again. You know, when you talk about white nationalists, and you said you are one.
I am.
I am too. I am too. But not once have I ever said I was going to kill somebody, death to us, the infidels, and all that kind of stuff. You've never said that either.
No, these crackpots, Keith, these people on the left, they take good words. They take good words and good meanings for those words, and they twist them to where they sound evil. I am not a white supremacist. You aren't either. If they want to call me a white nationalist, go ahead, because I'm very proud I'm Caucasian. Why not? If people can be proud they're black or Hispanic or whatever race, that's fine. That's great for them. I'm proud I'm a Caucasian. I'm proud I'm white. I'm a nationalist because I love this country and I want to see this country go on to still be the greatest country in the world. So I'm a white nationalist, but now they've twisted these words into being evil, and they say I'm dangerous.
Yeah, do you remember when there were the skinheads up in northern Idaho?
Yeah.
And, you know, those people were white supremacists, I think, because they wanted to do away with anybody that wasn't white. And I don't think that's the way the Lord wants it, and I don't think that's the way it's going to be.
Well, I'll tell you something, Keith. You can see the left. They absolutely change and twist everything, whether it's white nationalists or whether it has something to do with our Constitution. Oh, it was written by old men back in the 1700s that absolutely they were slave owners, and why we can't have that Constitution. We got to throw it away. We've got to start over. We got to modernize it. I am afraid of what might happen in this country if these evil leftists take over.
I don't know of one Democratic left-winger that you can hold an intelligent conversation with.
I'm not even going to try, because it would be an exercise in futility.
Yeah, because they got to be right. They can't. You can't discuss anything with them because it's the old adage, don't confuse me with the facts. My mind is made up. Yeah,
and I'll tell you something. I know that there are certain groups of liberals in this area, many of which reside in the Twin Falls area. And, you know, when you start saying, I'm proud to be a white nationalist. I am proud to be a white nationalist. I'm proud of my race. I'm proud of my feelings about America first, and how I am so proud and thankful to the good Lord above that I was born and raised in this country. So if they want to hang the title in a derogatory fashion on me as being negative for being a white nationalist, let them have it, baby, because I'm not going to change.
I remember when this guy spent all his hard-earned money starting that CSI, the College of Southern Idaho, and it looked like it was going to be a really good thing. And then we bring in all these stupid kooks and put them on the board and do this and do that. That has ruined something that could have been very great.
Now, I'll tell you what, if you look at liberalism per se across the country and the cities and communities where liberals reign supreme, those are the towns that are having a lot of problems right now. Keith, I got to run. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Hey, don't forget our major sponsor with a great, big, huge, meaning really big, fall tire sale going on right now. And that's our Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Doing the right thing matters. I wished our government and politics would remember that. Doing the right thing matters. Well, at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, they've got all the tires on sale for you. Your car tires, your pickup and SUV tires. You know, you got to get ready for fall and winter driving. Yes, you do. So why not do it now instead of putting it off? I know you're sitting there, well, geez, Ab, it's going to be 68 degrees. I know, but you know it's going to change. So stop in and see any one of the 7 locations of your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland in Burley. They know, they care, they provide the best in service. They do the right thing because it matters. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. You stop in and see them today. Real quick, there is a college it's called the College of the Ozarks, and I absolutely want to give them a shout out this morning. I'm going to try to get a representative from their college on the program this next week. They are making it mandatory, and they require all freshmen at the College of the Ozarks to enroll in what's called the Patriotic Education and Fitness Program. You don't want to be in that program, you don't get into the school. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and it's planting a seed that will grow within the students and make everybody a lot better. It's called the Patriotic Education and Fitness class at the College of the Ozarks. God bless them. About time. Hey, we got to take a little break for a couple of minutes and listen to the big boys from CBS mess everything up. We'll be back in 7 minutes. Oh, good morning. Hour number 2 is Zev at the Ranch, and thank you for tuning back in. Of course, our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you. Big fall tire sale going on right now, and including our dear friends at Western Way Services.
From the canyons of the Snake River and all across southern Idaho, we're always at your disposal. Western Way Services, we care about our community, our resources, and this great land. Western Way Services is lending a hand, always at your disposal.
Western Way Services, I highly urge you to call. The number 734-6969. Ask them about the route service, and weekly they'll come by, get your garbage, wave goodbye to it. It's gone forever. I tell you what, these folks are really, really good. Western Way Services, it's true. They're always at your disposal. Give them a call today. Get on the route service. I highly recommend them. 734-6969. Oh, my goodness sakes, we got a lot of things going on this weekend. We're going to have the Chamber Report here in just a moment with Kyla, but I want to remind you, too, tonight at Maury's Steakhouse at 219 East 3rd in Burley, they're going to have a meet and greet from 6 to 8 p.m. for Steve Yates, running for Lieutenant Governor. And the hosts of this great event, good friends, Representative Bert Stevenson, Doug Pickett, and Mark Peterson are the hosts. They want you to meet Steve Yates. They want you to find out all about how he wants to help create good-paying jobs, strengthen education, and hopefully help fix health care. All of this and more with the meet and greet tonight at Maury's Steakhouse from 6 to 8. Steve Yates for Lieutenant Governor. Paid for by Representative Bert Stevenson, Steve Yates for Lieutenant Governor. You know, of all the sponsors I have on this program, like I said, we only have the cream of the crop. I want to say a big shout out and thank you to Joel Heward, manager of Hanson Mortuary, his family, and his staff. They are the most polite, they are the most caring people, and they absolutely want to serve you and your family during very trying times when there's the passing of a loved one. And remember, they always uphold the highest ethical standards with absolutely unquestioned integrity. Please, write the number down, call. Have questions? They can answer them. 436-5636. Hanson Mortuary at 710 6th Street in Rupert. Call today. Right now, there is a young lady on the other end of the phone that absolutely puts a smile on her face and brightens up the room at the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce as the director. Kyla, good morning.
Good morning, Zev. Thank you for the nice compliment. That was really sweet of you. How are you this morning?
Well, I am just peachy.
I hope you're being serious at your PT. I know it feels like fall out there today, and the clouds are moving in a little bit. Hopefully that'll burn off later this afternoon.
You know something? After yesterday, I had a real epiphany yesterday. A great day outside, and how could anybody be in a bad mood after God gave us a day like yesterday?
Oh, my goodness, is that not the truth? Because seriously, it was clear blue skies. The views of the mountains were beautiful, and I don't think we had hardly any wind until later in the day. So the river here looked like glass for most of the day. It was absolutely breathtaking. So we're just pretty lucky. We're in a very, very beautiful place to live, I think.
Have you carved your pumpkin?
We have not carved our pumpkins. I'll own that right now. I'm sure that we're going to get to it this weekend. I guess I'm a traditionalist. I'm like, you know what? It is not October 31st yet, so we'll be happy to be getting those carved this weekend, because this weekend I know a lot of folks are going to be heading up to the Haunted Mansions of Albion. Those are still going on. Tickets are available online at hauntedmansionsofalbion.com, and I believe they're going to have lots of the local dance troupes going to be performing on Friday and Saturday evening up there. So if you've got kids in the dance force and a lot of other, they're going to be performing special dance routines in addition to all the frightful stuff that's out there. And that is just going to be a lot of fun. So if you can, be sure to get your tickets online. The ticket booth does also close at 11 p.m. up at Haunted Mansions of Albion. And again, we want to recommend that children under 8 not attend. It is pretty scary. I don't know if you've made it out there yet, Zeb, but we have some other things that are happening that I really want to get to, because we have been swamped with calls about this one. But yes, today at 4 o'clock begins the Idaho Water Sports ski swap that helps out with Pomerel Ski Mountain up there, and we all love Pomerel. And a good idea to go and see what they got for goods, and that'll be at their tent right outside their store. And then the Harry Potter Experience begins this evening at the Historic Wilson Theater in Rupert. Tickets are available, but they are probably beginning to sell out, folks. This is just the coolest thing ever. It's 436-2787. Again, 208-436-2787 for those tickets. And it starts tonight, and then they also have it Friday and on Saturday. And so if you've got any Harry Potter fans, you want to be sure and check this out. And then lastly, we've got a couple other things I want people to put on their calendars. If you've got grandchildren or children, Fabrical in Burley will be doing for free a community trunk or treat from 4 to 6 p.m. on Halloween. They're over there on Washington Avenue in Burley. And then also the Rupert Square has their big trunk or treat coming up on October 31st. That'll kick off around 6:30 p.m. If any businesses are interested in becoming vendors to give out the candy, you can give us a call here. We'll be sure to connect you with who you need to be calling to do that.
So you don't like to be scared, little girl.
I don't, Deb. I don't. And so, but I love Haunted Mansions of Albion because I got to give credit to Heather Mortensen and her crew up there. They just do a phenomenal job. And if anybody loves Halloween, you've got to get up to the Haunted Mansions of Albion or have your friends come. They have people from driving in from all across the country, which is just phenomenal for up there in Albion. And, honestly, I've been through it when it doesn't have the zombie actors and all that kind of fun stuff in it, and I still think it's scary then. So then to add all this on top of it with the special effects and everything just kind of blows my mind. And then coming up in November, I'll get that date as we get a little bit closer to it, but several of the Ghost Hunters shows have come in, Ghost Adventures, and shot some things there, and I know people will want to check that out and see, is it really actually haunted? I already have my answer, but I think you need to watch that show for sure.
Do you believe?
Scared them because I don't. I'm not a spider person. I'm not a snakes person. Ugh.
Do you believe in ghosts, little girl?
Do I believe in ghosts? Oh, my gosh. I have to say I believe that there is something. How's that? And I've talked with Heather, and she's told a couple stories when she's just trying to lock up the place, and that was enough for me.
You know what I think I'm going to do?
Go check it out.
You know what I think I'm going to do? Next Tuesday, and think about this. Next Tuesday in the first hour, from 8 to 9. I'm going to have scary stories on the air.
You're going to have scary stories on the air?
Yeah, okay. And if you know a scary story, I've got one or two stories from my past that honestly to this day, and I'm an old man, nobody could ever come up with an answer or a reason, and I'm going to share those next Tuesday.
Oh, you see, now I am so mad that you did that because I'm going to listen, but I'll be listening with like my ear, like, with my eyes closed or something like that. That's the kind of, I'm the person that's watching a movie or television and I duck under the seat a little bit.
Don't look behind the curtain, little girl.
Oh, that's going to be fun, Zeb. I appreciate you doing that. That's going to be great.
Hey, listen, what else is...
If people want to give us a call at 208-679-4793. We'll be happy to get you connected with...
Okay. So go carve your pumpkin and stick it out on the front walk there going into the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce.
We will do that. We will do that. Thanks, Deb. You have a wonderful day, okay?
All right. Take care, Kyla. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do next Tuesday is I'm going to have the first hour nothing but scary stories. Now, come on. I know that you have a scary story. I know that I've got a couple in my life, a couple of which I have no answers for. Next Tuesday. All right, thanks, Kyle, over at the Chamber of Commerce. Let's see, old Lennox Home Comfort Systems. You betcha. You can get up to a $1,600 rebate on a new Lennox Home Comfort System. All you need to do is call Ramsey Heating and Electric at 678-0459, and they can tell you all about it. Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox, saving you money. Really, really good people. You know, I really care about animals and livestock, and it just warms my heart to think that there are people that also care about livestock and pets. And I know some people that really put forth a great effort to make sure they stay healthy, and that's Ark Animal Hospital at 750 21st Street near Connection Credit Union in Heyburn. Now, the number to call, number to remember, number to write down where you can see it, I suggest big black numbers on the refrigerator. 678-1177. 678-1177. Now make sure all your animals are warm going into the fall, and make sure the water is not going to get frozen. Of course, the next couple of days it's not going to freeze, but it's coming. And make sure they've got access to water they can get at and enjoy and drink and stay healthy. Remember, those are some of the tips from Ark Animal Hospital in Heyburn. Number to call, 678-1177. They have the warm hearts for the cold noses. Ark Animal Hospital. You know, also, I'm going to take a little time here. We're going to give the Denny's Grand Slam breakfast in just a moment, so stay tuned for that, okay? I want to remind you, too, I got to put these papers over here real fast. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. I talked to Todd yesterday. What a help he is. I mean, man, you got questions, he can get them answered for you. Life insurance, health insurance, retirement planning, employee benefits, they are dedicated and responsive to your needs. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Number to call, 436-4424. That number again, 436-4424. Okay, now we are going to go ahead with our Denny's football trivia contest, and you can win a delicious Grand Slam breakfast. Build your own Grand Slam breakfast at Denny's America's Diner at 611 North Overland in Burley. Oh my goodness, don't miss this. It is going to be fantabulous. I'm going to give you a clue, all right, to the answer of the question. And the first person that calls the station with this answer, I will give you a Grand Slam breakfast at Denny's. The University of Maryland football team, their mascot is a terrapin. What is a terrapin? Call me quickly. The University of Maryland's mascot is a terrapin. What is a terrapin? Give me a call quickly, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Give me a call, and you might win that Grand Slam breakfast from Denny's Restaurant. Delicious, America's Diner. The University of Maryland, their mascot is a terrapin. What is a terrapin? Quickly, give me a call, 436-2244. Now, I have a call, and we'll see if they have the right name. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. How about if a terrapin is a turtle?
And how do you like your Grand Slam breakfast?
Ooh, every day.
There you go. What's your name?
Diane Ringel.
Diane, you have just won a Grand Slam breakfast from Denny's, America's Diner. Go in and identify yourself, sit down, and just enjoy.
Thank you so much. You're very kind.
All right. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Yep, a terrapin is a turtle. Quite a mascot for the University of Maryland. Okay. Now, I want you people to jump all over me if I say the wrong names here, because I have the football brackets, and I'm not sure that what was provided to me is correct. And if I make a mistake on these, I want you to correct me and let me know. I have Declo playing Bear Lake in the first part of the state football brackets. Okay, now, if this is wrong, I want somebody to call me and jump all over me. Declo playing Bear Lake. And then I have Weiser taking on Kimberly. Kimberly's going up to Weiser. I have on, 11-4, not this weekend, but next weekend, Gooding going to Kellogg. Now, I'm not sure if that one is correct or not. I've got Twin Falls going and playing Bishop Kelly, and let's see, we missed one game here that is not in the brackets that were given to me. I need to know about Oakley. Please, somebody call me. They did not even put Oakley on my brackets that were sent to me. Who is Oakley going to play? Murtaugh's playing Butte County, and North Gem, I understand. Clark County North Gem is taking on Dietrich in our playoffs of the schools that are here in this area. So if there are any additions, I got to look at this bracket. It's absolutely ridiculous, the bracket they sent me from local news sources, and they're not correct. So I'll take any additions. Give me a call at 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. But again, we want to thank Denny's, America's Diner, for our football breakfast for this morning. Woo, we're getting into the playoffs. I know that I'm following Kimberly because my grandson, the quarterback for the Kimberly Bulldogs, and to all the schools in this area. All the schools within the sound of my voice that have qualified for the state playoffs, go get them. Good luck. God bless. There you go. Just a minute, we're going to be talking to Jeff over at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More, but I want to remind you, too, about Let's Ride. Oh, we're going to talk to them in about, an hour. Exactly. Excuse me. Let's Ride, 270 Highway 24, between Rupert and the World. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays 9 to 4. All the new 2018 snowmobiles. Woo! Fun in the Angel Dandruff. And they've got all the four-wheelers and the side-by-sides. They've got all the accessories. Oh, my. This is where the fun is sold. Seriously, you need to get over there. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays 9 to 4. 270 Highway 24, between Rupert and the World. Let's Ride. Yep, where the fun is sold. Really good, folks. Like I said, in just a moment, we're going to run on down to Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More and talk to those good people. Hey, are you having a little problem, and it's not easy every year, going out and hanging your Christmas tree lights? Well, I know a business that wants to help you do that, and that can be a big chore. You want to make sure you get everything up and your house looks good for the Christmas holidays. Well, for Evergreen Lawn and Tree Care at 427 423-6454. They are ready to hang your Christmas lights. And if you really need that help, they've got a very experienced staff that can help out. They design custom fitting light strands to match the specific needs of your house or your business. And believe me, all you have to do to find out more information is call Forever Green Lawn and Tree Care and the number 423-6454. Let me repeat. 423-6454. You can call for a free quote or to schedule an appointment for Evergreen Lawn and Tree. Putting up your Christmas tree lights. And it's not too early to be thinking about that and get the job done. All right, let's go to the phone line right now. My old buddy Wheels over at the main station has got the man. He's got the man on the phone. He just rode in, tied his horse up at the hitch rack, and we say good morning to Jeff Bronson at Lee's Furniture, Floors and More. How are you?
Well, good, Zeb. Thank you for having me on this morning. How are you?
And when you leave, take your horse and clean up what's left behind.
Hey, Zeb, I'm not sure how to transition from that, but I appreciate you letting me share with your listeners that we've got some great specials going on here at Lee Furniture. So we'd certainly love to extend that invitation to all to come in and take a look at the great discounts that we have going on.
I can't believe you're having this great big harvest sale, right?
That is correct. In fact, Zeb, and as you and I have discussed previously, everything is 40% off the regular price.
Yep.
Now, this is significant because this covers all of our sofas and love seats, all of our reclining furniture, bedroom furniture, mattresses, accessories, chairs, dining room sets, you name it.
I got a question for you.
What's that?
How did the love seat get its name?
They've been asking that question for decades. I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just call it a love seat and let it be gone. Now, I understand there's no money down, no interest, up to 15 months on approved credit. Holy cow, this is a great deal.
Yeah, that is. In fact, Zeb, not only is it on our furniture, but it's also on our floor covering. Now, I'd like to share this with everybody, and that is that we've just received a number of new shipments in. We have in stock carpet, luxury vinyl planks. As many people know, that's the new vinyl flooring that you can install yourself. It's very durable, resistant to wear and tear, low maintenance, looks beautiful, gives you the look of a wood floor for a fraction of the price. We have that in stock. And in addition to, we do have the engineered hardwood, tile, vinyl, all of the other floorings that one would expect to find here that we've carried for years.
And you know right now, today is a great time to get into Lee's Furniture, Floors and More because, you know, it's not that far away on the calendar where you're going to be having all kinds of relatives over and friends over for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Now's the time.
You know, that's important, and I thank you for sharing that, because right now, in order to have some of that floor covering put in time for the holidays, because the schedule is filling in quickly, we have wonderful installers, but their availability is becoming limited. So I would invite those that are considering having the floor covering put in before the holidays to come in quickly so that we have time to get that scheduled and get that in before being torn up, for the holidays.
Oh, my goodness, and you've got such a great staff over there, really, really nice people, and I got to tell you, I was looking at LeGrand's name, his first and last name. He takes all the ink up on the page with his name.
That's right, LeGrand does. But, we've got some other great staff. We have Hillary. We have a new young lady, Emily Anderson, and she's wonderful. She's going to help us in our design and on our furniture floor. And so I'd invite those that are friends and family to come in and get reacquainted with her and visit with her here. And, of course, we've got Morgan. And anyway, we've got a great staff. And so, we really want to let others know that we've got people here who are very professional. They understand the business and would love to help them find the furniture and the floor covering that they'd like to purchase for their home this fall.
The man is back, and that's Jeff Bronson over at Lee's Furniture, Floors and More at 459 Overland in Burley. Jeff, get out of town. Have a good time up at Weiser this weekend.
That's right. I'm going to be looking for you. Your grandson may be throwing the football to my son.
I hope so, buddy, and we'll talk about that connection on the program next week then. God bless you. Have a great day at Lee's Furniture, Floors and More.
Thanks, Zeb. Take care. Bye-bye.
You bet. Thank you. Jeff Bronson over there at Lee's Furniture. Really, really good guy. We're going to have Rita Ramsey on the phone in just a minute, but I also want to remind you quickly, boy, we're rolling this morning. That old clock just goes tick, tick, tick. We're just sailing right through everything. Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center at 924 Christian Way in Rupert. They are the only locally owned and operated assisted living facility in the Mini-Cassia area. And you know what? They really, really want to personalize the help and assistance for each one of their residents with more one-on-one care. They really care. And they want you to stop by, visit the facility anytime, take a tour, check them out. And it might be just the place for your loved one that needs that little extra care. So please give them a call or stop in. Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center, 924 Christian Way in Rupert, 436-3200. They're small compared to some, but with a bigger heart than most. Well, lo and behold, look who we have waiting, ready to come onto the stage. Good morning, Rita Ramsey.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm real good.
Rita, you got to admit that I've said this a couple of weeks ago to you, that we're never at a loss on a Thursday morning to come up with a whole bunch of stories that are very pressing and very important, and some of which are almost like a cesspool to talk about. Let's start with the Uranium One mess. This story is growing faster every hour.
Well, the thing of it is I don't know why it should be growing, because we have known it's been out there for a few years and been screaming like crazy, and nobody would pick it up or investigate or look at it. It's kind of like, oh, you people that are whining about it, just shut up. You know, there's nothing to that. And now all of a sudden there is something to it.
Where did she go? Is Rita? Hello, Rita, you still there?
I am.
Oh, all of a sudden the line went dead. I don't know what happened. Okay, pick it up right from, all of a sudden there is something to it, and pick it up from there.
Well, the thing that's sad about it is they'll listen to you if they get caught not listening.
Yeah.
And so they could just ignore it and pretend that it didn't happen and make you think, oh, you're just whining about something that didn't really happen, and then they'll pay attention if, oh, well, yeah, it really did hit the news. So this is my question. There's numbers of other things that have come to light in the last several weeks that there's been people screaming and hollering for a long time about, and nobody would ever look into it.
Yeah. You know, Rita, let's take it from the get-go. Yeah, we knew a long time ago about a sale of our uranium, which never made any sense to me whatsoever. All uranium is going to be used by for foreign countries is to expedite the manipulation and growth of bombs and nuclear material. Why would this country, us, want to help others, maybe point the weapons at us?
Well, there's no rhyme or reason for any of that kind of stuff. It's just that if you have enough money, we'll give it to you, and that's the Clintons, and we've known that since the early 90s. And those of us that were on the opposite side, we've hollered and screamed about various different things, and nobody would pay attention.
Well, you know, now the people involved, I think, in the media, this is what's so funny to me, and I know that you picked up on this because you're, in very respectful terms, I say you're a news junkie like I am. You absolutely crave this. But now even the New York Times, one of the most liberal rags in the United States ever, is starting to, what's going on with Barack Obama and Hillary and the Clintons and the Podestas? They're starting to ask questions.
Well, that's right, and I guess the part that really bothers me about it is, if you don't want to stand up for what's right, you can just kind of stand back and cower, and then, oh yeah, we'll get in. But are you so that you can stand up for what's right and take the consequences? And that's the hard thing. But that's what integrity is.
Yeah.
If you can stand up and do the hard thing, whether it's comfortable or not. And these people, especially the Democrats, it's like, oh, we're just going to cover everybody, and we were going to ignore this. And the media, the main media, not everybody, but the main media has just totally ignored it and done their own thing. And they've been doing that, I don't know, were there scandals with LBJ and Kennedy? And, I mean, I really think that they probably were, and they ignored them. But, you know, it didn't take much when there was a scandal with Nixon for it to just balloon into a great big old huge thing, and they, you know, had it all out there.
Yeah. You mentioned Kennedy, and I want to get into that a little bit with you. I remember, like I said, first hour, exactly where I was, what I was doing, everything, the day that John F. Kennedy was shot in Dallas. And I followed that story. Like I said, I've always been interested in history and current events. That's been the number one thing I've always liked. And the shooting of John F. Kennedy and how it happened, who did it, the why and the where and everything else. I personally have always had questions. I did not believe all the consensus information that they gave us. I think there were others involved. I think that they're not going to release all the information tomorrow about the assassination of John F. Kennedy. But then I come up with another question as to why. Why, after all these years, would they still be protective?
Well, probably one of the biggest conspiracy angles is that, you know, Johnson and the Democratic Party had something to do with it. Mm-hmm. How involved it was, I don't know. But, you know, if that was the case and there really was something to that, it would be kind of like, well, we can't let anybody know that we're involved in it. I read a book about that. It was Bill O'Reilly's book, Killing Kennedy, and he went through it pretty thoroughly. And I kind of think that it happened like it seems that it happened, you know, just a crazy guy decides he wants to do something. Because it gave a lot of background about the killer, gave a lot of background about the killer's family, gave tons of background about the Kennedys and JFK and, you know, all the circumstances and everything like that. So I personally wonder if there really is anything to the other stuff, but, you know, all you have to do is just say a few things about it, and it'll spark, you know, all kinds of questions again, and heavens, it's been 50 years probably or more, yeah. So it's kind of like, do we revisit that? But there could have been all kinds of other things going along, and this guy just did something, and there were other things in the mix, and it's kind of like, oh, I guess we didn't have to worry about that. Somebody took care of it for us. So I don't know. Well,
I'm still, okay, now here I'm turning into the weekly conspiracy theorist here on the program. I really analyzed a lot of this, and the weapon that was used, a bold action weapon, the distance, the elevation in the Texas Book Depository, the Lee Harvey Oswald, his abilities, his non-abilities, Jack Ruby, the assassination of Lee Harvey Oswald. In my terminology, I'll say simply, I think it was to keep Lee Harvey Oswald quiet and not to rat out other names. There's just too doggone much about this that isn't coincidence to me, and I still question it 50 years later.
Well, there really is, and like I said, that book that I read just kind of addressed everything, but you still just wonder, okay, so really was there anything to do with that later, you know? And I mean, you can go back even as far as Lincoln and how, you know, how that all happened, and I doubt seriously that anybody else was involved in it, but there are those of us that'll always say, you know, how do we know that there wasn't something a little deeper with it? It's hard to say.
Let me move right into another subject that involves a shooting, and that's, of course, the terrible tragedy in Las Vegas. Rita, are you like me on this one, that why, after all these weeks, we being the American public, we don't know one doggone thing more than we did just literally hours after it happened. There's so many questions, no answers, and now there seems to be even a deepening mystery about this story.
Well, I just don't understand how one person could do all of that. I think he had to have people helping him. He had other accomplices. Just the fact that, I mean, I don't know how you'd haul all that stuff that he had supposedly in that room one person many, 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 many trips without there being some triggers of somebody saying, hey, what's going on? I mean, I haven't spent any time with it, but most people know, and I've heard it said, that if you're in a casino and you even as much as blink towards somebody else, they know.
That's right.
They're watching you, and sometimes you're questioned. Sometimes all you have to do is say one thing, and all of a sudden you've got a bunch of guys with the little head thingies in their ears and black jackets and white shirts and ties, kind of looking at you like, we're checking you out. So why did they not check him out? I mean, he had to have gone through the casino numbers of times.
Well, he used the service elevator to transport all these guns, all the ammunition, all the cameras. Come on, Rita. I can't buy that somebody wasn't bought and paid for to keep their mouth shut.
I just don't, it makes you wonder if he knew somebody that worked there and they were doing something together. It's hard to say, but I just don't understand how one person could do all of that. Now, if there's 3 or 4 people, you could understand them coming from different directions and kind of accumulating there, but it just doesn't make sense. And then there was a report from ABC News that reported that the laptop belonging to him was recovered, but, the hard drive wasn't there. It's like, so he was up there for all those days, and then he took the hard drive out of his computer and hid it? Or
where did it go? Yeah, exactly.
None of it makes sense. It just doesn't add up, none of it.
We have a caller with a question. Go ahead, caller. Quickly, you're on the air.
Okay, I've got a question, and I might be way out of line, but when the Bundys went to Oregon, remember when them 2 guys from Oregon got thrown back in prison?
Mm-hmm.
And the Bundys went up there?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understood that their ranch was on a uranium field.
Yes.
Do you think any of that will come to light over this bill?
I'll jump in and then I'll have Rita talk about it on the air, and thank you for your question. Rita, I maintain, and I've said on my program a couple of times, I think that the problem up at the Malheur Wildlife Preserve and also the Hammond property up in Oregon, all of this because of the uranium, because of the Russian collusion with Hillary on that uranium, the ranchers, the protesters, I think this is all going to come to light. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, I hope it does. I don't feel confident that it will because a lot of that stuff gets hidden.
Yeah.
I'll just add the one scenario to it, and that's the deal down in Nevada where they had run out all of the other ranchers, and was it Bundy's was the theirs was like the last one in a group of all of them, and it was, if it wasn't the state of Nevada, I think it was Harry Reid and his cronies.
Right.
We're trying to get control of that. So it's just kind of like, well, it's government land. We can do whatever we want because I'm in the government. I'm a senator, or I have some special people with lots of money from another country that will pay for this, and I can make some good money. And it's just desert land anyway. Nobody's going to be more the wise over it. And so I really think that there probably was something to do with that particular area where it's at and what happened with it. And whether it comes out in this, I don't know. I guess it's really part of the shirt tail.
Well, it is to a certain extent, but I will say this. About 3 weeks ago, I had Lavoy Finnecom's widow on my program, Jeanette, and I'm going to be having her back on the program in a couple of weeks. And I will tell you this. I think that the death of Lavoy and what happened up there was completely mismanaged, bungled, and I think we're going to find out more about that story. And I still believe that there is a shoelace to be tied, if you will, into the happenings of the uranium from Wyoming, also jumping across the state to Oregon, the Hillary, the State Department, Barack Obama's administration, the hush money. I still think there is a tie that a lot of this will come out.
Well, I hope that it does. It needs to. The thing that's bad is there's enough people that can just close off things because this isn't like, okay, when the new administration came in, he brought all of these people in, and they're all on his side. There are lots and lots of holdovers and people in areas where it's like, well, if anybody kind of gets wind of this, we're going to be in big trouble. And two main places are in the FBI and the CIA, but there's other places. Now, there was an article this morning about the DOJ settling with Tea Party groups on the Lois Lerner thing. That was probably 6-7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's something finally just coming out.
Yeah.
But it's because somebody dug a little bit and wanted to see if they could wrap it up. But if people are wanting to hide stuff pretty bad, it takes somebody doing a lot of digging before they can actually come up with something.
That's right.
The sad part.
I've got to do a weather forecast, and we'll come back with Rita, and we're going to talk about white nationalism. Stay tuned. Don't forget our weather brought to you by Phillips Oaks Goodwin Crane and Company with offices in Burley and Rupert. And, of course, they have been providing accounting services to the Minicash area for well over 50 years. Phillips Oaks Goodwin Crane and Company. And they want to thank everybody for all their business in this past year and reminding everybody, too, it's time to get your 1099s and W-2s out. Don't forget Phillips Oaks Goodwin Crane and Company. And right now, here's the weather.
Well, it looks like we are still going to be blessed with some nice weather. Good morning with your Zep at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron sitting in for Gina Jameson. Today, looking for some sunshine. Yeah, highs are going to be around 60. The wind is going to be blowing. Could see gusts around 25. Then for tonight, mostly clear. Expecting a low around 31. East wind's going to be settling down just a little bit. Then for tomorrow, sunshine, high near 61. And winds are going to slow down to about 5 to 7 miles an hour. Then for Friday night, mostly clear, a low of 34, sunshine, and 65 on Saturday night, a low around 35. And then for Sunday, sunny and 67. Gotta love this beautiful October weather so far. That's your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron.
Oh, like Gomer used to say, Shazam! It's great weather, and thanks very much to Phillips Oaks Goodwin Crane and Company for sponsoring our weather. Absolutely, people that can help you with all your tax return preparation, tax planning, financial statement preparation, retirement planning, and so much more. They are the professionals. Phillips Oaks Goodwin Crane and Company with offices in Burley and Rupert. Rita, I guess I'm going to fall into a category of criticism here, but I'm going to ask you if you feel the same way I do. The left has taken words and titles, and they have twisted them into being evil, sinister. And a professor came out a couple of days ago, and this professor said, I think that white nationalism is a bigger threat to America than Islamic jihadism. Now, I am white. I'm Caucasian. You are too. I am very strong nationalist. I support my country. I love my country. I am very thankful I live in this great country, the United States. So I guess I'm a nationalist. But now the term white nationalist is a evil term.
Well, this is what happens. So all you have to do is come up with the right kinds of words and be in the right place at the right time, which means a university, a professor who is supposedly just all knowledgeable and everything else, and all he has is an agenda, and that's for against America, to utter something like that, and it will just take off. The other thing is that's a good deflection from what's going on in the news, taking away from the Clintons and all the corruption and everything that's been involved, hence all the way down from the Clinton administration through the Obama administration and through the Democrats forever, probably. It's a good deflection. We can start something else happening. You know, the Democrats had to be totally, totally excited about the shooter in Las Vegas because there was let's not pay attention to anything the Democrats are doing now. And so anytime that something can come up that is a deflection thing, it's like, let's run in and see if we can get some miles out of it. And people will quit looking at what's going on with the Democrats and how corrupt or how involved or anything else. And one person who'd have to be really super happy about it is old Weinstein and any of the people in Hollywood that have been kind of concealing all of that. So I think it's just, well, let's see if we can get some mileage out of it so we have people paying attention to this instead of what's really going on.
Yeah, but, I guess what I'm saying, I want to pursue a little bit further with you. White nationalism. Even in our local paper, there has been criticism of white nationalists, as if they're the same as the skinheads and white supremacists and everything else. What is wrong, please tell me, with being a white nationalist? What's wrong with being proud of your race, Caucasian? What's wrong being proud of the accomplishments? What's wrong being proud of your nation and putting your nation as number one and wanting it to remain number one? Really, how can you come up with an evil, twisted connotation that that's wrong?
Well, first of all, they want you to believe that. They want others to believe that. The other thing that's really sad about it is if we don't have people who are proud of our country and glad to be here and looking out for it and patriotic, we don't have a country anymore. And that's what the modus operandi is of all of these socialists is, well, we want it to become like Venezuela. Isn't that a wonderful country? Or Cuba's so wonderful. And,
yeah.
I mean, that's just their agenda is that anything's better except where we're at. And I'd love to invite all of them to leave. But if we stop teaching our kids that patriotism's important and doing the kinds of things that help them to understand, which means they've got to learn history, why America's great and that America's great, these louder voices, they're not bigger groups, their louder voices will win.
Absolutely. I've only got about 3 minutes left, and I want to get into one more topic with you, one that we haven't discussed for quite some time. Bo Bergdahl. I think, and I'm just going to state my case, that I think he's a worthless traitor. I think that he has been mamby-pambied. I think the extension of the court case and the outcome of the court decision has been beleaguered to the point where a lot of this has been swept under the rug. I think his defense that Trump's statements inflamed the people against him. Nope, it wasn't Trump that inflamed my feelings against him. I absolutely listened to the soldiers and their stories of people that lost their lives and were also shot and injured because they were looking for a traitor. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that you're right in the things that you've said. I would add to that, there's lots of interviewing going on with those who were involved in the search, those who were injured, and those who were put at risk trying to bring him back in, not to mention any of those whose lives were compromised. And I think they will hold a bigger way than just the regular people who is like, oh, he was already in prison for 5 years. We should just let that go. Well, first of all, they can't because that's the way that they will judge military from here on out. And second of all, he needs to be held accountable, and that's not what happens in regular courtrooms very much anymore. And so, thank goodness that it's in a military setting, and they're actually interviewing those who were involved in the hunt for him. I remember, and I think it was Kelly or Megyn Kelly had all of those, or not all of them, but a number of the people that were in his platoon or his group or whatever you call it, wherever he was at, who had gone hunting for him, and how she visited with them when he was first found by the Taliban. And they told their stories, and they were quite compelling, and you could tell that they hadn't made things up, and it was very disturbing. And so I think with that in view, I hope that it will weigh enough for the military who will pass this sentence on to him. Will say, hey, you can't do something like this and not receive a pretty hefty sentence.
Absolutely. I totally agree, and no sympathy from me whatsoever. Rita, I've got to run, but oh my goodness, a great weekend ahead. We're looking at highs in the mid-60s, a great Indian summer weekend, and I hope you and your family enjoy it. Thanks for being a part of the program.
You bet. Thanks, bye.
God bless. Thank you. Rita Ramsey, I always look forward to having her on the program. Thank you very much. Let's see. I got one other quick note here I want to remind you of. I've got a public service announcement, and as truth be told, I must have left it. Here it is right now. Denny's Restaurant. they're taking new unwrapped toys or cash donations to help the Mini-Cash Christmas Council. They need those by the end of October, this next week, at Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley. Don't forget that, okay? Thank you very much. Right now on my program, it's time to talk about going to eat. Yes, it's my little segment called Starving to Death. Oh, I am, man. I'll tell you what, and I know some great places to go. How about the AC Drive-In at 601 East Main in Burley? Ooh, pumpkin shakes, delicious. They've got shakes of all the flavors, and they've got shrimp and fries for just $6.50. They've got fish and chips for $6.50. They've got, oh, you gotta try this, the chicken fried steak sandwiches. Oh, delicious with fries, special sauce, a shake. I love it. AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. How about let's move over to Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. Pumpkin empanadas. Oh, my. And, of course, Taco Bandito has bacon with jalapeno in it. And they got those new, you got to try one of these, pork burritos. I'm drooling. With beans, pork, rice, sour cream, and cheese, absolutely knock your boots off delicious. Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. Let's move over to two locations of Burgers Etc. 124 South Oneida in Rupert and 700 Overland in Burley. They've got that spicy chicken combo, including fries and a drink. It's only $5.99 after 3 p.m. Had it, it is good. You got to try it. And don't forget to, on October 30th, they're going to start serving hot soup. Ooh, delicious soups for the fall. All of this and more from Burgers Etc. 2 locations, Rupert and Burley. Move over now to Steve-O's. Hello, Steve-O's Food made the way you love it. At 290 South, 600 West of Hayburn. You got to check out that new salad, the Chaos Salad. It's chicken breast with bacon, pickles, jalapeno peppers, and all the goodies, lettuce, tomatoes, everything, cucumbers. I love cucumbers. Have them every night with tomatoes. And buffalo burgers, they've got it all for you. And a different soup every day at Steve-O's, 290 South, 600 West of Hayburn. And last but not least, Doc's Pizza. Oh, nothing better than Doc's Pizza. 514 6th Street in Rupert, right on the square. The most delicious of pizzas. The most delicious of loaded Idaho baked potatoes every Wednesday during lunch. The most delicious of salad bars. It's all there for you. And harvest parties are happening too. Schedule yours today at Doc's Pizza, 514 6th Street in Rupert. And those are just a few great places to go when you're hungry and starving to death. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to the CBS News and be back in about, 7 minutes with more Zeb at the Ranch. Don't go away. Wheels, it's all yours. Oh, here we go. Hour number 3. 3 on a Thursday. That frog in my throat. Sorry about that. And Zeb at the Ranch with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you with a great big fall tire sale going on right now. And including some of our great advertisers like Western Waste Services, always at your disposal. Call them 734-6969. We are going to have Cache County School Days in just a few minutes, and Debbie Critchfield's going to be on the program, so stay tuned for that. Want to remind you about what's going on over at Four Paws Bed and Bath this Saturday. They're going to have their Halloween Four Paws annual party and costume parade. This is always a lot of fun for Halloween, and it's Saturday. Starting at 1 o'clock, they're going to have the parade judging and everything, and they're going to have a groomer there available for walk-in fur coloring, fur stenciling, and nail painting. Yep, $5 each. And you dress your doggies up and let them have a good time at the Halloween party and costume parade. There's going to be free refreshments, all kinds of pictures. People ain't going to believe it, let me tell you. And this is all over at Four Paws Bed and Bath, 370 West, 200 South of Rupert. For more information, call them at 438-4444. That's a hard number to remember. Let's not forget, too, what's going on with Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox. Yeah, buddy, they are providing you with the Lennox home comfort systems to where you might get up to a $1,600 rebate on a new Lennox home comfort system. Check it out for your home. Call Ramsey Heating and Electric at 678-0459. Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. And Lennox, saving you money. Right now, it's time for Cassia County School Days, and we're very, very blessed to have our sponsor and that of two sponsors. As a matter of fact, we'd like to thank A Child's World at 1308 Overland in Burley, and they have all the baby furniture, all the baby clothing, and the young people's clothing, and they've got the top-rated #1 car seat by Chico. This is quite a family store. I urge you to stop in and see them today. A Child's World at 1308 Overland in Burley. And also Ambulatory Surgery Center. Really professional, nice people. And boy, they can help save you on your outpatient surgeries, such as life-saving colonoscopies, carpal tunnel hand surgeries, and much more. Find out, and they'll answer your questions. Call them at 677-8888. Ambulatory Surgery Center located at 1344 Highland Avenue in Burley. And along with A Child's World, bringing you School Days in Cassia County. Right now, a lovely lady, and she is the Cassia County School Communications Officer, Debbie Critchfield. Good morning.
And good morning to you.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Enjoying this fall weather that we've had this week. It's really quite nice.
After a day like yesterday, how could anybody have a frown on their face?
That's a great question to ask ourselves, yes.
We are blessed. You know, Debbie, I'm an old man, a lot older than you are, and let me tell you, I remember the days when I was in school. It was Mr. Lansing, it was Mr. Robb, it was Mrs. Kiltz, and boy, woe betide anybody that did not show respect for the teachers. What happened?
That could be a 3-hour-long conversation. I think in general our society has become a little more lax on some of those types of things. We like to think that, you know, parents encourage their children to be respectful to the teachers, and, you know, some of that does flat out start with Mr. and Mrs., those types of things, referring to people respectfully.
You know, one of the things, Debbie, that, and I still do it today, and I'm, like I said, an old man, but my mother and father instilled in me, it was yes, sir, and it was yes, ma'am. And as recent as a year ago, I said yes, ma'am, to a lady that I was visiting with, and she really got upset. So why have we had a change in respect and values? And really, I'm not going to change. I'm going to keep saying what I said, and I think we need to instill more of that.
Oh, I agree. I think that, you know, one of the things I know that schools over the last few years have been criticized is kind of dipping their toe into subjects that typically parents and homes have taught their children, and we've got programs for character education, and it sounds crazy that those would be subjects that we would spend time on in school, but what schools are finding is that some of these topics like integrity, honesty, courtesy, respect, that they don't get taught universally, and it certainly isn't to say that the schools are trying to, you know, manipulate how students feel about those topics, but give them exposure to what it is. What does it mean to be honest when you're at school with your fellow students in classrooms, and, you know, what does it mean to have integrity during the school day, and those types of things. Schools have gotten into talking about those subjects a little more, especially in our elementary schools, to address some of the needs.
Let me ask you this, and if we step on people's toes, they shouldn't be on the dance floor anyway. Let me ask you, is it really, I'm not blaming the kids as much as I am blaming the parents. Did we raise a generation of parents now that really haven't taught their kids respect?
Well, I guess we see it in different forms. I do feel that we are more fortunate in the area that we live, that some of those core values are still taught at home. But I also think that, I'll say when I was a kid, it didn't matter if I was down the block or, at school or whatever. I think that the parents of my friends had similar values and expectations of me in their home that my parents did. And so no matter where you went, you kind of had those expectations. And our lives are different now. People have different thoughts on different topics and different opinions. And then you throw in media, social media, TV. There's all sorts of messages that are taught to children in a variety of forms, and it does come back to the parent that it's a responsibility in the home to make sure that your child has those core values instilled.
The initial addressing of someone that's older than you or in a position of authority, yes, mister, no, ma'am, whatever. I have heard a lot of the younger people today just go up and say, hey, Dave, how you doing today? Well, that to me is totally disrespectful. And yet there are many young teenagers, and I was around some just a couple of days ago. I was absolutely taken aback with their yes, sir, no, sir, Mr. Bell, what can we do for you? There's still a lot of that goodness in our society.
I agree, and you've actually touched on a pet peeve of mine, and my children were raised that children don't refer to adults by their first name.
No.
And my adult children will still call adults Mr. and Mrs., and recently my daughter said something to an older person, and they said, oh, no, call me by my first name. And she said, my mom would kill me if she heard me doing that. And so I do think that those things are taking place. But it's those small things that you brought up that really do lead students down that path of respect. And certainly not just for teachers or adults, but just respect for each other in general.
Let's turn the coin over. And there's another side to the story. Do you feel, and I really don't know because I'm not associated with education day by day like you are, but do you feel that maybe the respect of the teachers to the students has lessened?
I'm sure that there would be parents that maybe have had specific circumstances in classrooms with their child. I would say that we certainly within the code of ethics with teaching, that is something we're constantly reminding teachers of, that even if this child gets on your nerves or has these issues or whatever, that we try to show that same level of courtesy and respect to all of our students. We're all human, and sometimes things happen, but taking it out of even the education world, and I know you know this better than anyone with all that you look at every day, in general, we seem to have less tolerance and respect for each other just in general terms. And I think it's an issue that we could have more attention on to say how do we still have the same dialogue and differences of opinions, which we need to have in a free society, and still show respect for people.
You really touched on something right there, and I'd like to elaborate on it a little bit. I don't know when, where, or how the bus started going over the cliff as far as not having respect for each other or being polite to each other. But I don't know when it started, but how do we put the cork back in the bottle? I don't care if you go to a big city, Chicago, L.A., San Francisco, it doesn't make any difference, or even right here locally. It just seems like we don't have as much respect for each other as we used to.
Well, I guess it goes back to those teaching moments, either in the home or in school. With our little people when they start school, kindergarten, first grade, there's a lot of time and attention taken to this is how you stand in line with someone. behind someone. We take turns. We let someone talk. We respect other people's opinions, and perhaps it's just raising a generation that puts that as a priority, that we can have differences of opinion and differences of thought, which are critical to our society, but how we address each other is important, and we always hope that the generation coming after us does a little bit better than we do.
Absolutely. But, the teachers and the classrooms and the students, when I was in school, holy moly, you didn't dare say a word or get out of your seat unless you raised your hand, and if Mrs. Kiltz didn't acknowledge you, you better stay there and shut up.
I think a lot of that is still present in our schools, to have that order and organization with all the people in the classroom. I'll tell you one thing that is a little bit different. Different parents, depending on what your own values are, not everyone likes that setting, and sometimes parents are disagreeable or think that their child is being kind of put into a box, or there's too many rules. I mean, we occasionally run into people that aren't fans of that type of structure.
What about our culture? I want to ask you about this. There are those that want to see diversification of culture, and I'm kind of one of the old stalwarts. I want to see America, and whether it's a rural culture, whether it's an urban culture, I don't want to see a lot of diversification. I don't want to see a lot of breakup. I don't want to see a jigsaw puzzle. I want to see America retain and remain with a culture that is definitely America. Do you disagree with that?
No, I have noticed and had other conversations where, as a country, we do seem more disjointed and divided than we ever have been, and yet we can maintain our individuality in the sense of, these are the goals that I have for myself, and this is the path I've chosen for myself. Somehow we've got to find that appropriate balance where we do appreciate the individual, because that is important. But as a country, we have core values that we all agree to, and we have ideals that we all support.
I wanted to ask you about this, Debbie, and just get your opinion, but the College of the Ozarks in Point Lookout, Missouri, is starting a patriotic education and fitness class at the college, and for freshmen, it is a mandatory class. You don't want to take it, you don't belong to the College of the Ozarks. And they're going to be teaching patriotism, they're going to be teaching politeness, they're going to be teaching a lot of things about America. I, for one, am absolutely going to get these people on the program and give them a tribute for trying to reinstill patriotism in our country.
I think it's fantastic. I'd be one of your listeners to hear what their curriculum is, how they do that, and perhaps that's something that we could incorporate into some of the government classes that we have now. And again, what you're describing, I think, really is the commentary on what we've been talking about this whole program, that some of these things aren't taking place in homes and some of the usual and historical places that they have, and it's nice that other entities have recognized that this is still important education and information. If it's not going to happen here, let's make sure that kids are exposed to it in another way.
Is there anything you want to bring up about what's going on with the Cassia County schools? Anything, updates on building? Is there anything now that we're going into the month of November soon? Any news that you want to share with us? We've got about a minute left.
Our enrollment is up. I think that is probably topping the news for our school district, particularly in the Burley area and Declo area. And so we're looking at growth management. It's a good problem. Of course, we want to educate the students that come. We love to see the economic development. But that is something that we're looking to address with our facilities, how we accommodate more students. As you know, Galen Smyer has tendered his resignation a few months ago, and so the school board is putting together a timeline and a search process to seek out the next superintendent. So I think that is also something newsworthy as far as our county is concerned. Folks are interested in who that will be and what that process will look like. Our facilities have come online nicely. We're finishing up in Declo and Malta, and we feel like we've had a great start to the year. We hope it sticks.
Oh, Debbie, you do such a great job. Debbie Critchfield, Cassia County Schools Communications Officer. God bless you. Great show this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate all you do for us.
All right, Debbie. See you later. Thank you so much. That's School Days in Cassia County, brought to you by A Child's World in 1308 Overland and Burley, all for the family. And believe me, they've got so much over there. All the children's clothing and the furniture. And don't forget, too, the ladies' dresses, so much at A Child's World, 1308 Overland and Burley. And for your outpatient surgeries, such as life-saving colonoscopies, be sure and check with Ambulatory Surgery Center at 1344 Highland Avenue in Burley. Number to call, 677-8888. Both of these great businesses bringing you School Days in Cassia County. Real quick, I want to remind you the Bennett Boys Auction Service is going to have the Colin Maxey auction coming up this Saturday at 11 o'clock at Jerome, 400 South. Look for the signs. They're going to have swathers, tractors, farm equipment of all kinds, along with livestock items, trailers. They're going to have snow machines. They're going to have all kinds of cattle equipment, saddles, antiques, lawn and garden items. Going to be a good sale, you bet. Bennett Boys Auction Service. Call Joe Bennett for more information. 539-0111. The Colin Maxey auction over in Jerome at 11 o'clock. Look for the signs. Bennett Boys Auction Service. Taking care of this sale this coming Saturday. Right now, let's get on the phone line and run over to 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World for Let's Ride. And here's the guy that got conned into doing the phone call this morning. Good morning, Randy. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing this morning, Zeb?
How much have you sold this morning so we can really merit your worth?
Well, not enough.
Okay.
Never enough.
Hey, tell us about the new 2018 snowmobiles. I bet you a lot of them are going out the door.
They are. Yep. They're pretty impressive. They're just getting bigger and bigger. Every time that they make changes, they just get faster and go through the snow better. So we have most of them out on the floor. So if anyone's interested, they can come down and check them out. So.
Now, you said out on the...
It's going to be a good winter again.
Oh, absolutely. You said out on the floor. Now, one of my questions to you is, Randy, who designs how you're going to get all those four-wheelers, how you're going to get all those side-by-sides, how you're going to get all those snow machines? How do you get all that stuff on that showroom floor?
That's our secret, Zeb. We just bring them in here and put them in the spots where to think that they're going to fit. With the side-by-sides, it takes up so much room now that you really have to plan it.
Well, I have said for a long time that Let's Ride, where the fun is sold, and I tell you what, you've got everything for people to get out and enjoy the great southern Idaho outdoors. What else would you like to tell us about this morning?
We're starting to get all of our snow plows in. So if it's like last year, you got to get a jump on it because we ran out. The whole western United States ran out of snowplows. So if you're going to plan on, being prepared, you might want to come in and get a snowplow put on your ATV or buy an ATV and get a plow put on it. Because last year a lot of people got stuck shoveling snow, and I heard a lot of complaints. So.
Well, I can tell you a little bit about that story because I got one of the very last snowplows that Nick could find for me.
Yep, you did. You lucked out. You was one of the lucky ones. But we have quite a few in right now, so if people are interested, they might want to do it. It's supposed to be a pretty tough winter again, is what they're predicting. So.
Absolutely. Now, Randy, tell us a little bit about the accessory department over there. When you say accessory department, what are you talking about?
We're just talking gear, anywhere from riding gear for dirt bikes to snowmobile gear to plows for your ATVs, hand warmers, helmets, gloves. I mean, you name it, that's accessory. We either have it or we can get it. So. Okay,
what have you got for an old man that uses that thumb on the four-wheeler and pretty soon the thumb falls to sleep and you got to stop for a while and get the blood back there? What can you do?
If it's because of the cold, you can put a thumb warmer on there with heated grips, or you can put a throttle tube on there so you use it like a regular motorcycle if it's your thumb's getting tired, or you can put a thumb extender on there.
Okay.
We have all of those accessories in. So.
Now, you know, one of the things I got to brag about a little bit is you've got a great service department over there, and those people have always treated us really, really well. Tell us about the service.
Service is really good. We have Tyson Young as our service manager now, and he's been doing a really good job. I think we sent a couple of guys, one of them named Zeb.
Yep.
Your place last year and helped you put plow on and get stuff going for you. So, but yeah, they're good guys. We've got the mechanics that have been here since long before I was here, so they're really experienced, and this is a good time of year to get stuff in because it's starting to slow down a little bit. And, you know, the farmers and ranchers are out doing what they do, and it's a good time to sort of get everything ready for next year.
Absolutely. And, of course, now, I mean, the snowmobiles, the 4x4s, the side-by-sides, everything. You've got it. Plus, you've got something else over there that I really respect. You've got all the knowledge to make sure that the people that are looking for something, they're going to find just the right kind of a vehicle for them.
Well, we hope so. We have enough that we think that we can fit anybody's needs.
Well, I've always said that you folks are the best, and that's Let's Ride, 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. What are the hours you're open now, Randy?
We are open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, and then on Saturdays we are open from 9 to 4.
All right. Have a great weekend and enjoy.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks, Randy, over at Let's Ride, 270 Highway 24 in Rupert, and that's, of course, where the fun is sold. Really good folks. By the way, too, want to remind you, our friends at Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center, oh, my goodness sakes, at 924 Christian Way in Rupert. Number to call, 436-3200, and they really are able to provide more one-on-one care. That's right, personalized help for each person that lives there at Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center. I urge you as families to go by, take a tour, find out more, and they would love to answer all of your questions. Please check it out today. Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center, 924 Christian Way in Rupert. That number again, 436-3200. They are small compared to some, but with a bigger heart than most. Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center. Right now, let's send it back over to our main studios. I'll be back in about 3 minutes.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
Thank you very much, and welcome back to our last half hour. This next gentleman that I'm going to have on the program, he has been on the show many, many times, and I would imagine that this morning, right now, he is bulging at the seams with information about the Uranium One case, what's going on in Hollywood with all the hot items that are taking place over the Weinstein issue. My goodness, let's welcome him through the door. Attorney James Herson, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning on this terribly slow news day.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I'm kidding, of course. Yeah, I mean, it's breaking out all over. I think, Zeb, we live in the age of Trump where things that we suspected are being revealed. The veneer is being pulled back, you know, the incredible corruption that we always suspected was in the bureaucracy of government is now all of those suspicions are confirmed and exceeded by these stories that are breaking involving Uranium One, the Trump dossier, and other stories. And then, of course, what's happened in Hollywood that produces such vile cultural pollution that we find out that the people who are responsible for the vile pollution live vile lives, and more and more of them are coming out. So, more and more stories. So this is all actually a good thing. I think, even though the subject matter is unpleasant, the fact that we're finding out the truth is a wonderful thing for the country.
Let me ask you this, though, James, and you've been on the show, like I said, many, many times, and I really value your opinion. It's, I think, great, and I mean that, I'll underline the word great, that we're finding out about all the misconduct and the misdeeds and the illegalities. But, can we correct it as a society and make our America better and like it used to be?
Well, that, in one way that would make it better is to eliminate the two-tier justice system and to have justice be done. I think in the case of Harvey Weinstein, we're going to see justice being done. Harvey has civil legal problems, corporate legal problems, and criminal legal problems. He has several women that accuse him of rape. I think he is going to be prosecuted. It's clear that he is being investigated by Scotland Yard, by the NYPD, the Los Angeles Police Department, and others are soon to follow, probably Canada and France. And, he thought he would be treated like Roman Polanski and Woody Allen. And instead, he appears to, but Hollywood is definitely hypocritical because they left Roman Polanski and Woody Allen in the Academy. When it comes to these other revelations, Uranium One and the dossier, I think America has watched, particularly the Clintons, but also members of the Obama administration and President Obama himself, just commit be alleged scandals one after another, and there doesn't appear to be justice for them. And there appears to be a two-tier system where the ordinary person commits a crime and they pay the price. And, for example, Hillary Clinton, who Greg Jarrett of Fox News did some research and identified now, based on what's in the public record, all the allegations starting with her private server, that there are 13 federal crimes that she could be charged with.
Wow.
And so the good news is, of course, we now have two committees, one in the House, one in the Senate, that are investigating Uranium One. And we owe a great debt of gratitude because there are still some people in the media who practice legitimate investigative journalism. John Solomon is a veteran. He used to be with the Associated Press. Then he was with his own imprint, Circa, and now he's with The Hill. He and then Sarah Carter from Circa have uncovered what caused the change in the coverage on Uranium One, and then the Washington Post, of all places, confirmed the fact that up to $9 million was paid by Hillary Clinton's campaign and the DNC for the discredited, debunked, infamous Trump dossier, using sources from Russia and using a former intelligence agent from England. There's so many campaign law violations here and potential other violations that they're too numerous to mention. But we live, unfortunately, in a country with a twisted, dishonest media that even now refuses to properly report this story, and in some cases shamelessly try to spin and defend it with incredibly distorted articles. Where they're going along with the DNC spin now, which is similar to a vast right-wing conspiracy, that this is the Trump campaign, Fox News, and the Republicans, as Hillary Clinton said, trying to distract from the Russian meddling story.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing could be further from the truth. That's exactly what the Democrats and the mainstream media have been doing for a year.
Yeah.
Is trying to distract from their own abysmal selling out of the United States of America. You know, Zeb, one of the most striking things, it's a complicated story. It goes all the way back to 2004, but when you go through the whole thing, I think one of the striking things is that you see some familiar names who are inextricably bound up in this Uranium One story. And people, your listeners know it, but just to repeat it, 20% of our strategic uranium reserve, material to make nuclear bombs, were sold to Vladimir Putin and the Russians and approved by 9 government agencies, which include Hillary Clinton's State Department and Eric Holder's Department of Justice. And while at the same time as they were supposedly making this decision, an FBI investigation that goes back to 2009 had evidence of bribery, kickbacks, and money laundering by Russian-related individuals and entities, where the goal was to get Putin's hands on our uranium. And that information was not shared with the public, was not shared with Congress, and was bottled up. And the people involved, at the time, the FBI director sounds very familiar. That's Robert Mueller. At the time, the attorney that was in charge of the FBI investigation that unearthed Russian criminality was a U.S. attorney named Rod Rosenstein. He is now Deputy Attorney General. He appointed Robert Mueller as the special counsel. Then we have the then Assistant FBI Director, Andrew McCabe, involved in this. He's now the Deputy FBI Director, McCabe and Rosenstein being Obama appointees. And then a bulldog attorney accused of prosecutorial misconduct, a Democrat donor who's on the Mueller team named Andrew Weissman, was the head of the Obama Department of Justice fraud section and signed off on a sweetheart plea agreement with one of the Russian operatives who was actually prosecuted in this case. These are the same people who are supposedly now investigating the phony Trump-Russian collusion matter, and they're intimately involved in real Russian collusion. Mueller is compromised. It is beyond belief that Jeff Sessions doesn't demand his recusal, tell him to step down. Rosenstein should be recused and step down. This is something that is a mystery to me, why this isn't a huge issue. But there are some voices. Frank Gaffney has been out there saying it. Greg Jarrett has. Obviously, some people on Fox, Sean Hannity, have been. But I don't understand where Jeff Sessions is on this, and I'm disappointed that he hasn't demanded they recuse themselves, or I'd say step down, and that investigation, so-called investigation of Mueller, should be someone else needs to head it up or shut it down.
Absolutely. Let me say this, and you correct me if you think I'm wrong, but this is the first time in a long time, and I'm an old man, that I remember so many stories in the news being joined at the hip, if you will. We look at the Las Vegas shooting, with the Mandalay Bay being associated with the MGM. The MGM, of course, a big company in Hollywood. We look at Hillary Clinton. We look at Russian collusion. We look at Harvey Weinstein. We again see Hillary Clinton's name crop up, and then also the Clinton Foundation. All of these stories in the news seem to have some co-joining like a spider web. Do you agree with that?
Well, they're all part of this unusual era where the veneer is being pulled off. But yeah, the Clintons obviously were big recipients of Harvey Weinstein. The Clintons, of course, are at the center of Uranium One. The Clintons are at the center of the dubious, discredited dossier. And then I didn't even mention, it's funny, the Uranium One scandal. There's one side of it is that people who knew, like Eric Holder, absolutely had to know about Russians committing blackmail, bribery, wanting to get their hands, willing to commit crimes, get their hands on uranium. And knowing that, Eric Holder signed off on Russia acquiring 20% of the United States uranium. And Hillary did the same. That alone is a scandal. But then you add to it this side. Bill Clinton getting $500,000 for what some reports say are a 20-minute speech. I've heard a 1-hour speech. Doesn't matter. It's twice the highest amount he's ever been paid. And the money comes from a Russian investment bank with ties to the Kremlin that was pushing Uranium One and promoting it. And also millions of dollars, in excess of $100 million, coming from people who were interested in making that Russian deal, some who were billionaires, going all the way back to Clinton, helping them make deals in Kazakhstan, and that went into the Clinton Foundation. So you put it all together, just Uranium One, it's a staggering scandal. And if the allegations are true, and if the correlations are true, it makes every other scandal in American history look infinitesimally small. And the fact that the media, the corrupt, dishonest, useless media in this country, and I'm talking about ABC, broadcast, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, and MSNBC, that they would not report on this and instead report on, Bob Corker and Jeff Flake. That is behavior that is it's beyond the pale. But we have a real media problem in this country. We have a subversive media. It's not that they're biased. They are subversive, and they are willing to shirk all their responsibilities and all their principles of journalism in order to circle the wagons. And part of it is to defend. The only reason segments of the media are even reporting this, like the Washington Post, is that there's a portion of the left that wants Hillary Clinton to go away. But this impacts the Obama administration big time. And so that's when they really circle the wagons to protect former President Obama. And it's shameful. What they're doing is absolutely shameful.
James, you're an attorney. You investigate, you study, you analyze, and you come up with the final bottom line on cases of whether your client is guilty, innocent, whatever, and you go from there. But now in this case, looking at the Uranium One deal, if you will, I don't even think we've seen the tip of the iceberg yet. I think there is so much that's going to go on like a spider web, and unfortunately that's going to take away from the doing of Trump administration of trying to make America great again. All of this stuff is just really not helping the American people whatsoever.
Well, you can't. How can you help the American people if you're willing to sell 1/5 of our uranium to this person who the same people are saying is the consummate source of evil in the world?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, there's no way it helps America that we are embroiled in all this, but this is where we are.
Yep.
And these are the kind of people that the media defended and allowed. And the Democratic Party is knee-deep in the very corruption that they accuse Republicans of committing. They accuse Trump of committing. This is a technique that goes back to Joseph Goebbels. Point the finger and accuse someone else of what you were doing. And that's exactly what it appears not only Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, and it ties in, by the way, to the unmasking scandal that we haven't talked about recently, because the thing about the dossier that's really a question that's serious is we have reports that indicate that discredited, debunked dossier that came from Russian sources that was paid for by Hillary Clinton's campaign and the DNC was used to justify spying by the intelligence agencies of the United States on American citizens. Now, if that doesn't get some people from all points of the political spectrum upset, there's something wrong with them. So I suspect that if that turns out to be true, then what we have is a level of corruption in the bureaucracy and in both in the Justice Department and the intelligence agencies that is at such a high level, and so draining the swamp becomes a paramount activity just as much as dealing with health care, tax reform, and the rest of the Trump agenda.
Very well stated. I've only got 2 minutes left. Caller, you have a question for James Herson. Short and sweet, please.
Yes, you know, the Democratic Party, you say, get it like it used to be. I recall when it was in the 60s, and I used to run a crane when I was a young man, and
okay.
I'd read that Reader's Digest from cover to cover, and there was an article in the Reader's Digest in the 60s where President Kennedy signed over a big chunk of land to the Catholic Church, and nothing was ever done about it or even said about it. And then you got Teddy Kennedy, who killed this young lady, and he just skated right on through. Nothing. The media has been corrupt for years and years, and the Democratic Party has been corrupt for years and years.
I appreciate your call.
Right now is of one man, and that's Trump.
I appreciate your call, and I'm going to have James respond real quickly. I've got less than 45 seconds. James, please.
No, I agree. Media corruption was there, and particularly when the caller mentioned Ted Kennedy, because the Chappaquiddick chapter, they circled the wagons, and it was again, shameful example of the media. But the media today has gotten to levels where it's not just the bias, just the protection, just spiking stories. They are printing falsities. They, as the president calls it, fake news, meaning it is lies. The media doesn't mind making up stories, making up sources, and printing things that are lies. And we have to prepare ourselves, because they will be doing that shortly to try to distract from Uranium One,
right,
from the dossier, and from the other scandals that are circling the Democrat Party, the Deborah Wasserman Schultz scandal, for example.
All right, well, listen,
stories, I'm sure, shortly.
I appreciate you, James. You're the best. James Herson, attorney in California. And tell you what, James, come back soon. I've got 1,000 other questions to ask you. I'm out of time. God bless you, my dear friend, and come back soon.
God bless you, Zeb, and keep up the great work.
I will, sir. Thank you very much. One of my favorite guests on the program, James Herson, and we're going to have him back in a couple of days. I've got other things I need to ask him about. Oh, my goodness. Wheels over at the station is saying, Zeb, we got to get the weather on here. Brought to you by Scarrows Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome. The number to call, 324-7657. Yes, sirree, they've got their website showing all the different delicious retail meats at scarrowsmeats.com. Don Scarrow and the crew at Scarrows Meats waiting to serve you. And right now, here's Scotty with the weather.
Well, it looks like we are still going to be blessed with some nice weather. Good morning with your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron, sitting in for Gina Jameson. Today, looking for some sunshine. Yeah, highs are going to be around 60. The wind is going to be blowing. Could see gusts around 25. Then for tonight, mostly clear, expecting a low around 31. East wind's going to be settling down just a little bit. Then for tomorrow, sunshine, high near 61. And winds are going to slow down to about 5 to 7 miles an hour. Then for Friday night, mostly clear, a low of 34, sunshine, and 65 on Saturday night, a low around 35. And then for Sunday sunny and 67. Gotta love this beautiful October weather so far. That's your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron.
Scotty, thank you very much. Brought to you by Scarrows Meats. Don Scarrow and the entire crew over there serving you at 331 North Road, Jerome. Delicious meats from Scarrows Meats. They are changing the way we eat, one delicious bite at a time. Real quick, also, our big thanks go out to our major sponsor on our program, and that's, of course, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you with a great big fall tire sale going on right now, and doing the right thing matters, always at every Les Schwab Tire Center. Lane in Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike in Buell, Mike in Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and my buddy Randy on Overland in Burley. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, the best in tires for your driving needs this fall and winter. Of course, brake service, the very best, front end alignment, shocks and struts, and batteries. Got to have a good battery. They've got them for you at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Center. Stop in and see them today. Our major sponsor. We're doing the right thing matters at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Got to run. Weekend coming up for me and my lovely bride. Hope you have a very safe, sane weekend, and we'll see you next Monday at 8:06 right here on Zeb at the Ranch. Wheels, take care of yourself. Have a good weekend, and remember, the way things were are the way things ought to be. Take care, everybody.